Alright, so here's what I'm investing in SOD right now. First thing is going to be iron bars. Basically, my theory behind this is that Blizzard is pushing other professions other than engineering. So there's going to be a lot of people that go blacksmithing for the epic items and whatnot, and I'm presuming that there's going to be more epic items, not just the level 25 epics, but also the level 40, 50, and 60 epics going forward. At least I'm speculating that. Um, so I'm investing in iron bars, and that is because if you see right now, you can get to 150 blacksmithing, which is the cap, basically with just bronze bars and heavy stones. As soon as you cross to 155, this guide starts saying iron bars, and it's the same for pretty much every other guide. There are technically other ways you can level without iron bars. I'm going to bet that 99% of players just follow this guide or other guides that say the same thing, and they go and buy iron bars. So right now, there's a lot of iron bars on the market. They aren't really worth much. I buy them pretty much for vendor, and come next phase, I expect the price of iron bars to go up for people leveling their professions, blacksmithing in particular, because engineering does not need iron bars to level, but there is the engineering item Iron Grenade, which is the best in slot grenade for classic PvP. It's the one that is basically a gouge, and it takes an iron bar. So there is some reason for engineers to want iron bars, but I'm going to guess that most of the demand is going to come from people looking at guides on how to level blacksmithing, and iron bar, they're going to need a lot of it. Alright, so next item is going to be the free action potion. And the reason why is because right now, even though it's used on Kelleris, if you didn't know, you can pop it right before 35% and you won't get shadowy chained in the final phase of Kelleris. But despite that, I still think that they're undervalued right now, and that is because once we get to the higher phases, there's going to be less people fishing up blackmouth oil, and there's also going to be more people doing PvP, because when we get to the higher levels, like 40, 50, 60, it's going to unlock the higher PvP ranks, because if you didn't know, right now PvP is capped at rank 3, but once rank 7 to 10 start getting involved, and then even more so once rank 14 is unlocked, people are going to want to do PvP more and more. Rank 7 to 10 is for the blue set and warriors, mages, rogues. They like their helm and shoulders, and I think mages like the shoes. So there's some good rewards from PvP for PvEers, not just PvPers. And as the ranks get unlocked, more people are going to want to do PvP. And if they're doing PvP, they're going to want to use free action potions. And just with general inflation going on, and less people in the lower level zones fishing up blackmouth oil, the price of free action potions are probably going to increase, so that's my second investment. Okay, so my next investment is going to be Swift Thistle, and this is because, similarly to blackmouth oil, there's a lot of people farming in the barrens right now, and a lot of people farming in the zones, specifically the low-level zones, where Swift Thistle can drop from the herbs in the area. Basically, what I'm saying is that once people level up, there's going to be a lot less people in the barrens, and there's going to be a lot less people casually picking herbs as they see them, because there's not going to be people running by, seeing the Briarthorn or whatever, and opening it up. Thistle Tea, I believe they can use it right now, but as we get to the higher level raid content, people are going to use it more and more, and there's going to be less Swift Thistle entering the economy. Expect the price of Swift Thistle to match the usage rate of Thistle Tea, and also increase because there's just less people farming herbs in the barrens. And also, just like the last one, there's going to be more inflation in the game because we're turning in level 40 quests, level 50 quests, level 60 quests, so everybody's going to have more gold, so the price of every item is going to go up to some degree. But I think the items that get used the most are going to go up the most. Alright, and the final two items on the list, Deviate Fish, I think, is another one that will increase. Just because people like to use the Savory Deviate Delight, and as less people are going to the Barrens, Deviate Fish will probably increase in price. And if you're worried about bots farming Deviate Fish or Blackmouth Oil or even Swift Thistle, my answer to that is basically, do you really think a level 60 bot is going to go back to the Barrens to farm stuff? And in all honesty, the answer to that might be yes, but I think there's still going to be less overall because there's more efficient things they can be farming, such as just any high-level herbs. You can run around Fellwood and pick Grom's Blood and Dreamfoil and whatever, and make infinitely more money than fishing Deviate Fish. And a bot can do both things just as easily. You can have a bot do both things. I don't know how, because I don't have a bot, of course, but we play World of Warcraft, where Blizzard does not ban bots, and I just happened to pick up information due to the fact that bots are rampant, and the problem does not necessarily seem to be getting any better. But anyway, that's a whole other tangent. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm not worried about bots, because I don't think there's going to be as many bots doing the farms that you can do in the Barrens, and also inflation as a whole is going to start kicking in really hard in Season of Discovery as soon as we get the level 40 quest rewards, level 50 and level 60 quest rewards, where we get a lot more gold from turning in quests. Basically everybody's going to have 100 gold easily. Like, everybody's going to be able to afford their 100 gold mount, their 60% speed mount at least. And a lot more people are going to be able to afford their 1000 gold mount than in Original Classic, just because so much gold is being pumped into the economy from people passively playing the game compared to the rewards from Original Classic for passively playing the game. There's just a lot more gold flowing into the economy, and I think that's going to reflect in the price of pretty much every item. But as I previously said, the items that get used more are going to get hit harder than the items that get hit less, because there's still going to be items that increase a little bit in price just due to inflation, but the items that get used the most are going to be the ones that go up the most. And you can see this in Wrath of the Lich King. I'm not making this up here. Wrath of the Lich King gives out gold basically for free. You just have to do your dailies every day and you get 800 gold, and it takes like an hour. So anyone that needs gold can realistically get that gold pretty easily in Wrath, and the price of low-level things in Wrath is crazy expensive compared to how they are in Classic, even when those items in Classic are relevant at the level cap. So I'm not too worried about bots still farming this stuff as the level cap increases, because I still think there's always going to be a market. And then also the recipe for Savory Deviate Delight, because right now a lot of people are farming Wailing Caverns. They're farming it for their 25 pre-bis. But as soon as people stop doing Wailing Caverns as much, there's still going to be some groups that do it for leveling or whatever, but eventually there's going to be a lot less people doing Wailing Caverns, and as a result, this recipe is going to not drop as much, not be as frequent in the auction house, and also people just leveling in the Barrens. I think it can drop from just mobs in the Barrens and whatever. People get to the higher level caps, the only reason they'd have to go back and kill Barrens mobs is if they're leveling in an alt or whatever, so there's just going to be less of these entering the economy, and it's a very sought after recipe because everybody likes the consumable, turn themselves into a pirate or a ninja. So yeah, the Deviate Fish and the Savory Deviate Delight recipe are my last two picks for my list of what I'm investing in Season of Discovery. So if this helped you at all, if there were any new ideas for things that you could put your gold into. Appreciate it if you like the video, and leave a comment telling me how your investment works out after you cash out next phase or whenever you do.